All right, so I just wrapped up number 40 in the current series of one shoe or more blackjack sessions. No baccarat involved, simply gagging, getting up and going when things get really tough, applying the drop zone rule, simple stuff that's been explained in the sessions that I've already posted online. And I'm looking at this lot and I'm thinking, does it make sense for me to put up all 40? Because it's not like it's an easy trick. It takes a fair amount of time to put these things up. They're in the archive, they're available. And so what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to put up 38, 39, and 40. And then anybody who wants to look at any of the others in the list, just ask me nicely, and I will find a way to put it up online. I'll just pull it out and put it into the edit. But I mean, the total win now is pretty silly. I mean, it's enormous, and the maximum drawdown remains somewhere between 140,000 and 150,000. Yeah, I get there's a load of people out there who'll say, well, that's ridiculous. You can't play like that. Nobody, blah, 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 blah. And this is the thing, if you don't have a huge bankroll behind you, you cannot beat this game or any other table game. Baccarat and blackjack are the easiest games to beat in terms of the estimated house edge, less than 1% for blackjack, 1.2535% for baccarat. But what makes the house rich, what builds the casinos, is the stupidity of players. Where they come to the table with not enough money, so that when they hit a run of volatility, they panic, they go crazy, they lose everything, they got nothing left, and they're out the door with their tail between their legs, empty pockets, empty wallet, whatever. That's what built Las Vegas. And if you take a business-like approach to these games, if you have a strategy and you have money to back you, then you can beat them. But it's not a combination that appeals to the vast majority. Probably one gambler in 1,000 gives a damn about numbers, and that might be a generous estimate. I mean, really, I only have to look at my viewership numbers. Compared to the number of people that tune in for Vegas Matt, it's like 1.25 million or something like that. It's insane. I mean, they're watching somebody playing like a complete damn idiot, an irresponsible, reckless fool. I mean, that's basically what he is, and that's what all the others are too, and that is their job. We got to remember, they're in the business to make money, not from gambling, but from Google and from other sources, whether it's the generosity of the casinos that host them, whether it's merchandise that they peddle online, that their audience, who must not be that bright, let's face it, if you're buying high-priced crap just because it has Vegas Matt's silly expressions on it, or Bobby Rivas's smiling face, or his mugshot, or whatever, then you're not really awfully well endowed in terms of IQ, I don't think. But that's just me. I suppose I do mean to insult people when I say that, because I do find it extraordinary that anybody out there would take the sort of risks that these guys are promoting on their channels and would put money that they could use for something valuable in life. Instead, they just throw it in the toilet, give it to the casinos. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me, but there we are. Okay, so I completely get that dry numbers like these are not exciting at all for the huge audience out there that gets its jollies from watching other people pump endless tens of thousands of dollars into slot machines, and the same people throwing money around like idiots on baccarat and blackjack and roulette and craps and so on. But there's just a few people out there who are interested in the realities, the real numbers, the real arithmetic behind these games of chance. And that's the audience that I'm basically working for right now. And obviously also I'm building up a kind of a proof, if you like, of the strategy that I'm not selling. I'm not in any way forcing anybody. How could I to adopt? But I'm simply saying, again and again and again, if you bet the way that Vegas Matt and Mr. Handpay and Crazy Cody Burn Money and Steve Will Do It and Dana White and all the others do, then you will lose your money. And there is, I suppose, a slight possibility that the audience that watches Vegas Matt, who's now at like 1.25 million subscribers, I don't think that Mr. Handpay, Jason Bulkey, is far behind. I think he's at about 800,000. And then, of course, there's the 800,000 or so who watch Brian Christopher playing slots day after day after day. It may be that in those huge audiences there are people who are saying, "Oh, look at that! Look how much money you can lose." I really wanted to go to Las Vegas or to my local casino or to go online and bet money, but now because I've seen how difficult it is to beat these games, I'm not going to do it. I think it would be an infinitesimal percentage of the huge audience. I mean, the total audience for these sort of like top number people, Vegas Matt is number one, going all the way down, I think, to Brandon O'Brien, who's probably at the bottom of the heap. He's at about 100,000, I think. But it's 4.3 million total. Lots of those people, of course, watch lots of different content providers, as they like, or content creators, as they like to call them. All I'm really trying to say is I'm sort of like just trying to say, if the casinos believed that a substantial number of people were turned off by these vlogs, by these presentations, by this content, then the casino industry as a whole would not support it, would not assist it, would not give comps and big piles of promotional chips and all the kinds of things that they do to any of these people. The truth is, the casinos know that this is free advertising for them, and it is bringing in new suckers. That's what the whole game is about. So anyway, take it or leave it, as I always say. We're now up to number 40. I think I'll probably take this whole process to number 50 because basically I have a very tidy mind. And then, of course, I'll probably say, well, of course, if I've got to 50, maybe I should go to 100. The point is, of course, that, it isn't always easy to beat blackjack in particular. It could not be always easy. But one of the things that you can do is you can set limits on what you're prepared to put up with before you walk away from a shoe. And if you watch people like Degen Dalt, he just takes it in the wherever again and again and again. I mean, just awful luck. And now here he is, where he's finally turned around after nearly 600 bets. So now you can think of that as probably in the area of 8 to 10 hours of play. He's finally almost reached turnaround. He's less than $2,000 away from it. And in that stretch of 570 or whatever it is, rounds, bets, outcomes, he's running at about 1 and a bit percent negative of his total action. And the actual house edge for the same sample is less than 1%. So he's actually worsened his position with his random betting and his rather erratic way of playing. And it's, by the way, that's not even a criticism of him, because I know these guys are encouraged to play that way, because the casinos don't want people, anybody that they're hosting, that they're helping, that they're promoting, that they're sponsoring in some cases. They don't want any of those people showing the audience how to win. Oh no. So you won't see any casino calling me up and saying, "Oh yeah, okay, so we really like what you're doing, and we think that the best thing would be if you put our logo all over your stuff." And of course, I will not do that. I promise you, that will never happen. Because as far as I'm concerned, the casinos are the enemy. They're the enemy of every economy in which they are large, not because people should not have the right to do what they want with their money, but because a high percentage of gamblers whose money is sucked into the maw of the big companies that now own the billion-dollar casinos all across America and around the world, a high percentage of that money does not belong to the gamblers. This is something that I observed in decades of living and playing in Nevada. Lots of people are betting with money that doesn't belong to them. They have stolen it from their employers. They've stolen it from the family budget. They've cashed out the kids' college fund. They've maxed out their credit cards. They've done all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, what happens? They turn to crime. They turn to suicide. Marriages break down. Homes are foreclosed upon. Come on. Anybody who defends the casino business as a useful segment of economy is just delusional. And of course, a lot of people say that I am delusional. I am completely mad because I'm suggesting that these games can be beaten, and everybody knows these games cannot be beaten. Well, I've got 40 of these sessions right now, carefully recorded, strung together in chronological order. And yes, I could be a delusional crook who has got some grand plan that nobody can understand, least of all me, and I'm cherry picking like Mr. HP does, like Vegas Matt does, like Brandon O'Brien does, like on and on and on. Sort of picking just not going to put up all videos, and not going to tell you about the sessions when the camera wasn't rolling and we got the shit kicked out of us. I just think about Jason Volke, Mr. Handpay, who told me once in a message that he can lose 100,000 or more in a day. Tell me if you've ever seen a video of his on his channel, on any of his channels, because he's branching out in all directions right now. If you've seen anything at any time which he's lost 100,000, no, you have not. And also, of course, you look at the way that he's dressed, and you look at the way that he looks himself, personally, in terms of his haircut and the whole bit, and you can see that his videos are not chronological. So there's a big gap there between what you're being allowed to see and what really happened. And yes, it could apply to me. It doesn't, but I wouldn't say anything else, would I? So it's up to you. You've got to decide what's true and what isn't. But there you have it. Anyway, we've got 1 to 25 there, which was whatever the hell that was, 138,000, and then the next 15 added nearly another 100,000. And it's funny money. I get that, but the sim, the Wizard of Oz sim, is deadly accurate. It counts the cards accurately, gives you a proper true count, and it is absolutely meticulous about not screwing up the cards that come out of the shoe. You are getting as fair a representation of a real game as you could hope to find at a real game in a real casino, like the one that should be nameless in downtown Las Vegas, which started this whole YouTube thing. I think it was a couple of Canadians who started it with them, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I did go and look them up, Vic and I forget, and they're not as active as they used to be. But by golly, you have never heard anybody moan like that guy about his about his terrible luck. I hadn't watched him for well over a year, and I thought, well, surely by now he would have learned that there's no point in putting up videos in which you say, I can't catch my chance. Oh, God, I got the worst luck in the world. Oh, knowing my shitty luck, I'm never going. He's still doing it, just the same. So, anyway, lots of people love him, right? And they're the people that I really don't understand. But there we are. Well, let's face it. It just wouldn't feel right if I went through a day without at least one blackjack session against this sim that some people dump on without ever trying it. That's the key with these folks, is they just mouth off about so that someone's doing this and somebody's doing this wrong and somebody's whatever, and they never ever step up and try it themselves. That did not work. Double for the loss. Double for the push. Alrighty. Repeat. That's funny. The 7s and 8s. You get a 7 and an 8, you're going to catch a 9. With a 7 and a 9, you're going to catch an 8. It's just magic. Okay, back to the min. We haven't made much, but we made. And that's what counts. You've got to make. Yeah, I just finished analysing a session that brought DD, Degen Dog, back from the dead. And it's quite extraordinary, the way that he bets, and he's all over the place. He's a typical, absolutely typical gambler. He just, there's no plan, no nothing. He's all over the place. And I discovered that, let's see now, line 838 in my model was when he last turned around. And he just turned around at line 1408. So what's that? That's sort of like 570, something like that. 570 separate bets where he's been in the hole. And, he just had a big win. But overall, he's not winning at all. Since the last turnaround, he's not ahead. And it's just fascinating because these guys, when they win, they behave as if they're heroes, Oh, look at me, kind of thing, and oof. Well, that's no bloody use. 51. Oh. 3-4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what I'm complaining about. That wasn't that surprising, was it, really? 7. 7, 8 now. Coming into the long grass. Oh, a nice 22 up there. Jolly good. All right. Okie doke. So back to normal. Yeah, these guys, they all basically play the same way. I mean, it's mystifying, but on the other hand, not. Because if they played with any art, with any skill, with any plan, then the casinos would not like it, not one bit. It looks to me like 1-2. I think that's enough. Back to the min. Like those dealer 22s. Keep that up there, Mr. Wiz. Oops. Well, that worked. Back to the min. +1. That was very clever. 51. Another good one. That's a repeater. All right, moving ahead a bit now. Yeah, they're an interesting bunch. They really are, but they're all basically pursuing the same agenda. They're making their money off camera from non-gambling sources, and or at least sources that they don't have to gamble to get their money from, so to speak. Um, oh boy, um, what are we on right now? 3, 4, double. Oh dear, that's 11, 8, and we're dropping. 8, 8. So we'll call it 8, 10. Oh, nicely. I like that. Okay. Now I did not know what was coming. Oh, God. Oh, very good. Got to applaud once in a while, when the whiz gets a good hand. That's enough of that, if you don't mind. Yes, Dodd had a fantastic dealer. He didn't play for her at all. She was pushing chips in his direction like I don't know what, but it's none of my business. I mean, it's entirely possible that he gave her a huge, oh, look at that, a huge bonus at the end, 4-5, I think that must be. All right, 9-10. Okay. Do we want to run away from this? 9, 10, 20, 10. The drop is 500. Not yet. All right. So that would be 5-2 in 500s. 4-2. 2-3. Oh, look at that. That is so funny, shitty. 2-3, let's do it again. All right, 5-6. 1, 2, 3. Ah! 11, 12. And then we're going to run away. Oh, look at that. Now, you see, that kind of thing happens all the time. It's part of the game. It makes it really great. I love to see it, obviously. But we're out of trouble there, and we're coasting towards the end of this one. But honestly, watching that guy, Degen Dolt. He does a little victory lap, like he's a hero at the Olympics or something. Oh my goodness. That's got to be 4-5. That's just too much. 9-10. You needed that. Back to the men. Last one. Double. Oops. 2, 3. Oh, I like it. Back to the min. Double for the loss. Ooh, blue. 1, 2. That's good enough. Back to the min. Double for the loss. Repeat. Oh, dear me. 51. Repeat. One, 2. That might work. Yeah, we needed it, didn't we? Good gracious me. Okay, we're winding down here now. Double for the loss. All right. I don't think I'm going to bother anymore because we're only one chip down, 125 are down. So it seems a bit silly. Nicely up here. Got to write it down in my little notebook here. 9th of July. And it's plus 187. We did that in 11 minutes. And I mean, you the interesting thing is, you got these guys, like I say, they behave like they're heroes. And the negative expectation for the 570 lines or whatever it is that had Degen in trouble was 0.88%, I think, against the player. And he managed to, his loss to date, much diminished after yesterday's big win, but still a loss, is just over minus 1% of his total action. So it's kind of intriguing, when you see that all of these guys, because they're betting randomly, basically it's exactly the same. If you bet randomly, it's exactly the same as betting flat. Same difference. Over time, not over 2 or 3 hands, obviously. And of course, this is what makes it infuriating when you have Vegas Matt and people like that who bet one bet at a time. And they do these shorts where it's just, I'm going to bet 10,000 on so-and-so. Let's have a whatever. And that's completely meaningless because they're random bets. The amounts of them have nothing whatever to do with any kind of target. And the same applies to DD. And the end of the day, as I say, I mean, he is slightly worse than the slightly less than 1% negative expectation that applied throughout those 570 bets. And that includes all of his extra bets because he does something that I never do. He goes off into second and third hands. Mostly just 2, but once in a while I go bonkers and bet 3. And it makes no sense. But of course, to make a complete monkey out of me this time, it just happens that this time he won about 12,500 something, 15,000 something on his first base bets, which are the ones that I'm interested in. And then he won 35,000 on his extras. But of course, that doesn't apply over time. It just doesn't work over time, as is proved by the numbers that I just mentioned. In fact, I think what I'm going to do, if I can, is I'm going to go and get them and show you them. All right, so here we are. And it's a bit of a mess, doing it this way, but this is what I'm talking about. In his that thing that I mentioned, from line 838 to line 1408, he was in deep shit. On the left-hand bets, he's as you can see here, he's still in deep doo-doo. but the combination here puts him at 50,800, right? Because he won 35,300 this last session, on his extra bets, which I just wouldn't touch with a barge pole. That's me, though, you know. And well, you can't see the numbers over to the left because I haven't got it set up that way. But here's the interesting stuff. 50,800 is what he won. He won 15,500 on his first base bets, just the left-hand bets that I'm interested in. And he won 35,300 on the extras that I wouldn't touch. And his total action was 201,000, and he managed to make 25.3% of his action, which is a very, very good number. It's extremely good. Perhaps not Olympic standards, perhaps not victory lap standards, but it's just extraordinary. I mean, you know, he made on his left-hand bets, on his first base bets, he made 13.7%, which is actually slightly better than I made. I made 12.8% on action of 33, so my action was about a seventh of his, you know. But for the left-hand bets, the last turnaround for him was line 838. Minus 14 is the flat bet number, minus 2.45%. Pattern betting's algorithm won 40,000 in those same lines, 570 lines, 40,625 on action of 335,350, which is 12.11% plus, versus expectation, which is minus 2.45%. In other words, a house edge against the player. And this is the kind of stuff that matters in these games, but none of these guys, because they're all basically working for the house, none of them want to deal with any of that stuff. They're just going for the fun, the frolics, the fireworks, the excitement, the you know, and the jeopardy and all the rest of it. And it's a con. It's a huge con. It's as simple as that. Anyway, what do I want to do now? Do I want to go back to where I was before? Let me see. Okay, so I'm back here now and just wrapping up. So we made 7,187 and 50 cents in 11 minutes. And I've been wittering now for 5 minutes, 6 minutes. So I apologize for that. But sometimes the things I have to say are worth listening to. Believe me. I was married to a lovely lass for well over 40 years. We were together for 46 to 45 years. It was a long time, well over 40 years anyway. And she always used to say, sometimes you're quite interesting. Which kind of like left a bit dangling there, didn't it? You know. But anyway, she always used to say I made her laugh, so that's a good thing. Anyway, that's it. I'm gone. Bye-bye. Okay then, second session for the day. A little bit later than usual, but I just kind of thought, you know what? I think I want to get the nasty over with before I pack up for the night. Things have been going a bit too easy lately, so I think probably a hard time is coming. And see, that's the sort of thing that gets you thinking. Uh-oh. Oh, bust by one. That would be 1, 2. That's a double. Oh, I thought it was going to be a 10 there. All right, we made a little bit of money. Always like to make a little bit of money. That's the name of the game. Keep it up, wizard. That wasn't the plan at all. 51. Double. Just enough. Yeah, when you make your target, Back to the min. Always back to the min. This is the mistake that, people like Degen Dolt, just keep on hammering, and then they start thinking, well, I made all that money before, so I can make it again just by betting big. And suddenly they're without a paddle. Was that a plus? Oh dear. Well, I'm going to assume it was. A 1-2. Ouch. 3-4. I was going to say that's supposed to bust. Sometimes they don't do what they're supposed to do. Have you noticed that? Like that one there. Don't talk about the hard way. 1-2. 3-4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's nice. Lovely. Thank you. Huh. Nothing friendly about that lot. That's a repeat. Oh, wait, no, it should not have been a repeat. Oh, well, too late. Back to the men. $22. Love it. We're on an upswing right now. Of course, a lot of these get wasted, because you're at low. Oh my goodness, that was lucky. You're at low value, but you have to follow the strategy. That's the thing. Another 22. Keep it on. Okay, well, that's just a repeat now because that's as high as I go. That's ridiculous. Okay, so now we've got to chase that. And again, 22. Isn't that terrible? Okay, so that's 3-4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn it. 7-8. Now we're in the long grass. And we're out of the long grass. Lovely. See that? 7, 8, 9. There it is. My theory holds up. 1, 2. Split them. Oops. That wasn't good. Okay, so 1, 2, 5, 6 now. Oops. That's not right. 5, 6. 11, 6, drop. Try again. Bugger. 14, 6. 17, 6. All right, so we just got 6 back, so that's 11, 6. 17, 12. Oh, dear. Oh, that's horrible. 29, 24. So that's 29, 24 is why am I struggling with this? 6. So 3, 2.5. Best I can do. Okay. 5.5, 6, and then I'm running away. I told you there was shit coming, didn't I? Maybe not. There you go. Okay, that was a lucky one. But that's the name of the game. Whoops. It's how it is. It's why we play it. Plus one. Oh, 51. 2, 3. Bugger. It's so annoying when a good hand gets wasted. 5, 6. Well, that worked. That definitely worked. Okay, so we're out of that little bit of nasty. And off we go again. Oh, look at that. My goodness me. 1, 2. 3, 4. Long grass, 7, 8. Right at the end too, look at this. Oh, look at that. Saved by the 22. All right. They are amazing, those things. DeGen Dalton, his last session at Venetian, God, about 14, 15,000 he was saved with dealer 22s, you know, and if I see him promoting one of those bloody shitty games that where dealer 22 is a push, snatch 22 is what I call them, I should be most disappointed, like he'll give a shit. That's a repeat. That was lucky. Must be close to the end now, I think. Very lucky. +1, which I will not fight if I lose it. No, I didn't lose it. So, in 10 minutes, +3, 2, 6, 2, 10 mins. I think that's number 39. The other one was 38, I think. So there you have it. No lectures this time because I've had enough. It's 9:09 at night, as you can see. So it's time for me to do something else before I hit the sack. So I'll see you next time. Cheers. Okay, so this is going to be number 40 in the current series of blackjack only presentations on the YouTube channel, and I've only put up about 8 so far, only about 8 of the 40, simply because to me it seems that it's it's overkill. But at least I can put up summaries. I can show this is where we're at currently, and if anybody wants to challenge me, if they want to see the session, whatever it might be, then fine, I can put it up. I'm sort of like in mixed feelings about it. And then the other thing, of course, that I struggle with right now is do I really need to track any of these jokers on YouTube anymore, the professional losers, because they really are the worst players. I mean, they are the worst role models. And of course, that's why the casinos love them. There must be some sort of deal, between these guys and the casinos, where the casinos say to them, well, so long as you don't try any kind of strategy and you don't teach people progressive betting and you don't help people win, then fine. We're happy to host you and comp you and give you access to wherever you want to go on the casino floor. But the other thing is that they're getting, in terms of behavior, Vegas Matt and Co. being a notable exception, and in fairness also Mr. Handpay, they have at least some dignity. They're not effing and blinding all the time. They're not sort of like goofing off. They're not being oafish. Whereas I watched Bobby Rivas very briefly this morning in his latest video with Bretsky. It was a bloody embarrassment. I mean, they both looked like they were drunk, tired, stupid. At the end of the video, Bobby said that he'd won 7,500. Wins like that are nothing compared to what he's losing that he's not telling us about. I mean, that's the way I feel. I can't prove that, and he may well be able to prove to the contrary. But it's just an odd situation with those channels. They're just a huge advertising opportunity for the casino business, especially El Cortez, because everybody seems to drift downtown to El Cortez, to the kingdom of Adam Weisberg, however he pronounces it. And it's funny because he's always kind of, Alexa, stop. He's always hovering in the background, usually sort of munching a snack. He eats on the run, I think, or on the prowl. And I'm sure that he's just keeping an eye on people and making sure that they're not showing viewers how to kick the shit out of the casinos. But it's just a very odd situation. And the thing that I just finished with Degen Dolt, DD as I prefer to call him, is extraordinary. Because on that, and I showed it in the last video, and I'll hop over there in a moment. But what you see is that the edge against him, the house edge against him, was about 0.9, minus 0.9, and he lost over the same period of time since his last turnaround. He lost about 1.08%. I'm going to hop over there right now. Yeah, okay. So here it is. Here, minus 6, 719 rounds altogether. Seems like a lot, actually. Well, maybe it's right. 0.83%. And he lost minus 1.08%. So it's as near, I mean, it makes no difference, He's behaved exactly the way the arithmetic says he'll behave if he bets randomly. When he's all over the place, betting up to 4,000 across or 8,000 across two hands. I think that was the biggest amount that he had on the table, was 8,000 in the last session. And I mean, come on, man. And this is what pattern betting did over the same period. Line 838. No, it's 500. I see the difference. 571 is the actual number of lines, but of course he goes in for. Hang on a second. Okay, so the thing that's slightly different here is that I only worry about the left-hand bets, the first base bets, in any of these analyses that I do. Where I track the professional losers on YouTube. And in the left-hand bets only, it was minus 14 since line 838, which is 571 bets ago, okay? So the house advantage in that particular sample, minus 2.45%, which is high. It's about 5 times what it should be. But hey, that's how it goes. Pattern betting, the algorithm, won 40,625, as you can see, which is 12.11% of total action. So that's a dramatic difference between pattern betting and DD's performance, which was minus 1.08. So that's the kind of thing that I consider to be extremely relevant, but most people do not give a tinkers about numbers like this, but they do matter. They matter to the casino. They don't matter to players, because most players are idiots, let's face it. All right, so here we go again, and having just said most players are idiots, which is an actual fact, I may be made an idiot in this session, but who knows? That's a loss for sure. And that's a double for the push. It's so often you split aces, it's a push, but I thought that was a made one, really. 6 up. Puh. Okay, what was that? So we're going to double that for the push. There we go. Justice is served. Excuse me. That's a double, I think. No, it's not. That's 1, 2. Okay, it stays as 1, 2 because it's already a turnaround. Oh dear. That's 5, 6. Long grass is approaching. This is the point of progressive betting, of course. Controlled, restrained, tactical progressive betting is that it's very difficult for the house to sustain a long stretch of wins. It's not impossible, it's not rare, but it is not the norm. That's the thing. What we're working to do is to exploit the norm. Getting thrashed. It's not good. Oh, that is. Okay, back to the min. +1. $51. Oh, 2, 3. Not working out very well right now, is it? 5, 6. That's a bit better. Back to the min. Love those dealer 22s. There's another one. Another dealer. It's like 3 in a row, isn't it? Plus max. Ah, okay. So we'll chase that one. Okay, we got it. So we'll go back to the min. The point of that is quite simply that if you get to the plus max and you win 2, and as soon as you lose 1, you just fall back. No, there's sort of like a bit of a grey area there. But the way I play it is, if I lose a plus max and it's the first one, then I repeat it, and then I call it 3-4 to move ahead. You can see me doing it over and over again. It's exactly the same thing. If I win two 125s or 5 unit bets in a win progression, then I just drop back to the minimum after a loss. But otherwise, if it's only one, then I'll chase it. And if the very first plus max is lost, then I'll chase that too. And if I lose, call it 3-4, etc. It all makes sense to me. That would be a plus. That would be another plus. That's a double. Oh, another 22. I love it. That's another plus. That's not looking so good. Okay. 1-2. Another 22. Good gracious me. The champ at those is that guy, Degen Dog, DD. He just, I think on his last session at the Venetian, 15,000. And then you get these prats who promote these awful games like Free Bet and Double Down Madness, where dealer 22 is a push. I mean, it's hypocrisy. It's dishonest. It's awful. That looks like a plus. That looks like 51. Looks like 2-3. Uh-oh. 5-6. We didn't get the 22 that time, did we? 5-6. And then we did. All right. Okie dokie. What just happened? Oh, I got it, didn't I? Okay, sorry. I wigged out there. Happens. That's tough. Double for the loss. I so want to hit this. Well, see how I caught the king, wouldn't I? 1-2. All right, there we go. Yeah, we're in the exploitation business, in just the same way that the casinos are. So we're exploiting them in a way. Was that a +1? I don't know. I'll think. So that's 51. It's a repeat. Well, that's a lucky one. All right. Always fall back to the minimum. Never forget that. These guys, these clowns, they push too hard and too long, and then when they should be pressing, they don't. So it's just weird. Oh, look at that up there. That's like 3-4, I think. 7-8. We're up there now. Long grass. Ow! Not the card we wanted to see. So 15-8. Drop to 3. 12-8. Oh dear, 2016. Well, I'll try that one. Bugger, bugger, bugger. Okay, so now we're on 4-3, and we're going to run away from this one because it's turned nasty. So 98 plus 90. Okay, 4-3 times 1,000 minus 100k over there plus 98 450 over here. So we're leaving here owing 1550. All right. Bear with me a mo. Okay, so now we're 4,000 down, 3,000 out. So the drop is 1,000. Okay, 3,000 down, 3,000 out. I think I'm going to make that 3,500 because equal down and out is just, it's kind of anathema, you know? Oh my goodness. That's the kind of thing that, you know, it happens to us quite a lot, but it happens in the real world too, you know? I mean, it really does out there on the casino floor. The player will often catch a very, very nicely timed natural. That's one of the great excitements of the game. You know, it's so much better than any of the games that pay even money or less. I mean, it's less if you win on banker on a baccarat game, which has commission, but you're a lot better off with that than you are with the alternatives. I tell you, any of the alternatives are a tougher game to beat than. Anyway, let's see. We're at 17 minutes, so I think I'll call it quits here. And we've got plus 6,250 here, and we owe 1550 over there. So what have we got? Is that 47? I think that's plus 47. Oh, wait a minute. My brain has faded. Yeah, no excuse for that. It's the heat, you know, the heat. It's 76 degrees here at 11 o'clock in the morning. So what the hell is going on? This is England, for goodness sake. It should be grey and raining. I mean, it is summer after all. I remember years ago being sent a wonderful, wonderful postcard from England while I was living in America. And there was this picture of a sheep looking absolutely miserable, drenching rainstorm. And it said, "Winter in England." And then right beside it was exactly the same picture. It said, "Summer in England." But something's changed, you know. I think it might be a climate thing. What do you reckon? Anyway, that's it for now. We're looking at about 17 minutes for 4,700. I don't think that's too shabby. I don't know. You tell me.